Well, I guess we should jump into our first topic, which
which is
is
Kurapika. Um,
yeah,
yeah, we were thinking about which characters to talk about, and I thought, yeah, or we thought that Kurapika is the best pick for starting because he's a fairly popular character, and like many know him, many like him, and we know quite a bit about him. It's easy to talk about him.
yep, he's very relevant right now to the story, as being the main
As
character.
well,
So
yeah,
it's
Hmm.
yeah,
perfect.
yeah. I guess what would be interesting to talk about is like, at least for me personally, is how he's been developing since like when
The
he
Hunter exam.
began like his journey, basically like. Oh yeah, by the way, we're definitely going to be like saying a lot of spoilers here. Is
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
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 All right, so Kurapika,
Yes.
from when he was introduced on the boat, or are we gonna go even further back to when
To
he was a boy in the village? Where do we start?
I think
if you want to give like the full context, I
yeah, I
think you have
think
to
the full
start from when he
context
was a
would be
mere
nice.
child.
Yeah, like his journey, like what he is nowadays, like to what he was back then, and what when he joined the or he started the hunter like journey.
Yeah,
Like he was like, of course, he was a kid back then, and like the huge shock that it was for him, like of course when like his whole family just got massacred, like uh,
yep.
According to tales, 128 Kurta clan members were slaughtered by the Phantom Troop.
hmm,
Yeah, pretty small village
hmm,
actually, with that number. Like you imagine like a civilization. It's just like a huge amount of people. Even a town, maybe like a couple hundred, maybe
Yeah.
even 1,000 or so. But yeah, there wasn't many Kurta left, which is pretty interesting.
So what it was is that they were in the Lesko province, and Kurapika wasn't actually in the town when the Phantom Troop were in when the Phantom Troop arrived. He was actually out exploring to try to find a doctor to help his blind friend Pyro, who
Yep.
was blind. Kurapika was trying to find a doctor to go just try to help him see again, since
Yeah,
he was his
because
best friend.
yeah, he feels responsible because Pyro was helping him up off that ledge, and
Oh
then
yeah,
as he helped him up, he falls off. So Kurapika feels responsible for that.
and
Which
that's
just sucks even more now that everyone's dead.
yeah.
It's just such like a
yeah.
depressing burden. Oh my gosh. What really struck me about going back, like further back, and seeing Kurapika as a kid was like how completely different his personality was.
Yes.
Like he wasn't like this more serious character when he was a kid. He was, like Don and Killua. Like he was just like this
Yeah.
happy-go-lucky, crazy kid who loved running around and
Yeah.
exploring and was just
Yes.
like enamored by the world.
He was a curious
So
child.
for all the anime fans, please go either watch the movie because the movie animates some of his backstory, or just read Volume Zero. Go look up
Yes.
whatever translation you need to find. Go look it up and read it. It adds so much extra context to Kurapika.
Yeah, it really does. I'm gonna be honest. Alright,
It's
so
pretty sweet.
in between those years, after the Kurta clan was slaughtered, and then until he was introduced to Gon and Leorio on the boat that was leading to one of the cities to the Hunter exam, I think he was just doing whatever. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's a pretty big gap there, actually.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever been canonically confirmed what he was doing.
Yeah.
I think he was either like
I imagine.
planning
I imagine he.
planning how to get revenge, how to like getting information, planning how to do it, etc. I think that's what he was
I
doing.
imagine he would be just surviving or something like. And as a kid, it's
Yeah.
especially brutal, like all by yourself, like. like
If I remember correctly, he was 12 or 13 when
Yeah.
Gon was slaughtered. Because by the time he was on the boat to the Hunter exam, he was 17, and it was, I believe, 4 years since the slaughter, if I remember correctly. 4 or 5 years. So he would be the.
To me, I guess what's interesting about because you guys were talking about when he was a kid and how he was a happy go kid, and we actually do see that, like in the Kurapika when he's with Gon and Killua, in the York New arc, like it's still there.
Yeah, you get glimpses of it.
Yeah, it's still there, but he's so absorbed by his
He's very emotionally hardened.
Yeah, his mission.
Yeah.
He's so absorbed by his mission, but it doesn't mean his kid personality isn't there. But it's just like he's putting so much effort into getting the eyes, and it just it becomes his personality, his goal, and until he's completed his goal, he won't be able to become back to normal, back to his old self, because
now I will just say this, I don't know if we're going to be discussing it in this episode, but I wouldn't mind discussing what could happen to him if he were to, let's say, successfully kill all Phantom Troop members and retrieved all the Scarlet Eyes, and he didn't die in the process.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I can think of several different. I can think of several different situations happening actually.
Go ahead.
So first one is like what Gilliman said, which was he can go back to his childish self. He would go back to his friends of Gon, Killua, Leorio, and Melody. And then he could just try to live a peaceful, happy life. Another example I can think of is he will actually, due to his lifetime goal being fulfilled and having no real purpose, he will slip into a deep depression. I mean, I think that when he actually completes his goal, I think that might actually be his time when he snaps, full on snaps, and this can lead to serious implications, because if you remember correctly, the only ability that Kurapika can't use, the only ability he can only use on the Phantom Troop is Change Out. He can still use Judgment Chain, he can still use his handgun, he can use Steel Chain, he can use all of that stuff except for Change Out. Meaning he can still cause a lot of damage, especially because of his insane oil reserves, aura reserves, sorry.
Oil reserves.
Oil reserves. I'm sorry, I'm an American. I think about oil all the time. But besides the point, I think is that he's a very skilled person. I think that can cause quite an amount of damage. It's just your perspective and what you hope for.
He's very capable, even without all of his abilities. I don't think he would snap. Maybe if something happened to his friend group, Gon, Killua, Leorio.
Yeah.
Which, Leorio's on the ship, something might happen to him. I don't really see Kurapika snapping. We already got a beta test of what this scenario is, because he thought the Phantom Troop was done in the York New arc for a moment, and you see him kind of reintegrating into that normal life with Gon, Killua, and
True that,
yeah, and also brought on the famous Killua's now just fallen into an indescribable emptiness or something, or whatever the heck it is.
The meme that gets spammed in general.
That. I hate that so much.
Yeah, 1 out of every 3 new members on the Hunter x Hunter Discord will spam that.
Yeah, no shit.
With all the emojis in between.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I try to go into an Among Us game and I play as my name. Half the people that go into it, they automatically see my name and then they type that and then I just kick them. You know what? Get the hell on my wall, dude.
It's the meme.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's been memed.
It is... I mean... I think the only reason why... I think the only reason why I got memed is because they had to play that guitar riff of hunting for your dream right as the narrator was saying it.
Oh,
So they kind of
dude,
shut them.
okay.
They shut. That's the only reason why it got memed, because then it would say that, but then it was people would say like, "Oh yeah, happy guitar solo starts" or whatever. So,
Yeah, they were so bad with that.
I know
There was
they
an
ruined that
instance in the
emotional
Chimera
moment.
Ant. Yeah, the Chimera Ant arc where
Oh
they
my
did that
God.
shit. I was like, what?
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
You see,
What have you done?
You see Miriam and Kamugi die, and you just hear Hiyori Itai just playing in the background. I would say it, but then I don't want us to get DMCA'd. So, thank you, copyright.
But yeah, I think yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good point that what Koga was saying about that he probably wouldn't snap because we already kind of saw what happened when all of
I
the
would
troop
just say
members
it's a
died.
possibility.
Like,
I would just say it's a possibility. I didn't say.
I think so too. But
With no support system. With no support system. So, like, he had his friends to fall back on, like, straight
Yeah.
away when he thought they were all dead. Like, he woke up and he was with his friends. He had that support.
that's true.
group.
Yeah.
Like, on the ship, if Leorio dies or he's like unavailable or he gets separated from them and then he manages to kill the Phantom Troop, it's quite possible that there's like a world where that depression, you know, I don't know, he commits suicide or something.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dark to think about, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess we can talk about Emperor Time since it was one of our subjects.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people just get like the basis of Emperor Time from the 2011 anime explanation when Kurapika was fighting Uvugin. So, but they don't. Most people don't actually know how Emperor Time truly works.
Yeah, it's a hard
So,
one to grasp because it's the way it's explained. It's pretty difficult. It's not worded like very well. You have to like spend a lot of time like.
Yeah, I mean, before we started this recording, I mean, Gilmon and I were talking about it for like 20 minutes, just trying to get like a clear, concise understanding so we can actually put it into words.
So yeah,
for you
to that
guys,
point,
so-
actually, yeah. So like, to my understanding, the way it works, like the levels thing. So, and the whole concept like of the Emperor Time. Like, okay, so he's using like 1 hour of his life every second. That's going to put like a multiplier on his like restrictions. Like it's gonna multiply his aura by a certain amount. But then also, well,
I think you should also explain the level system because most people don't actually know how the level system works when
Yeah.
it comes to Nen.
so
So,
yeah,
as I'm assuming most of you guys have heard, what it is that one person is naturally born with complete 100% mastery in a certain type of Nen. For example, with Kurapika, it's Conjuration. So he would be, let's say, a level 10 Conjurer, right? Then his other abilities that he wouldn't be able to get to 100% mastery in could be, let's say, Transmutation, which is at 80%, Enhancement, Manipulation at 60%, Emission at 40%, right?
yeah,
So what it is that you can only get to like a certain amount of level. So with Conjuration, he would be able to get to level 10. Transmutation, it would be level 8, and then it would just descend in order, like I just mentioned. So what it would be is that Emperor Time is used when he has it. Let's say he was trying to use an emission spell, not emission spell. No, damn it. An emission ability, right? What it would be is that he would have 40% efficiency with it. So if he went up against a natural emitter who is at level 4, the natural emitter would have that ability go at 100% power. Kurapika, since it's his weakest side of Nen, he would only do it at 40% efficiency. What Emperor Time does is it bumps it up to 100% efficiency. So what it is, it actually matches the level without having to train, essentially, to get there. So that's my explanation of how Emperor Time works, and how like boosts efficiency. But yeah, like Guillemon said, for every second that Kurapika is in Emperor Time, he loses an hour of his life. So that's a rather extreme trade-off. I don't know
Yeah,
if it
and
actually.
if you're an anime watcher and you're hearing that and you're going, "What? No, that isn't right." It is right. It's a manga thing. It's been introduced in this newest arc. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, we warned at the beginning that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, that is like, it's such a huge. What would you call it? A restriction?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a restriction or a condition? Because those are two different things.
Okay,
but what
so-
category would it fall into?
So what are you trying to explain again? Because I'll be able to answer it.
So there's that little explanation that his teacher gives. Izunavi, I'm pretty sure his name
Izunavi,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, something
Kurapika's
like
teacher.
Yeah.
Where it's physical ability multiplied by
It's plus.
So
plus
like-
physical ability plus
Yeah.
nen aura, like pure aura, and then there's the mystery edition. So
the mystery edition
basically
is
physical aura and then mystery, which is conditions.
so condition. I'm assuming if you guys have heard the anime, if you add aura, it makes it more powerful. If you get to a set condition, especially to the extreme that Kurapika has, where if he misuses his chains, then he will forfeit his life. It essentially exponentially multiplies it, making it ever so strong.
That's one multiplier, just one, and then so he's added this extra one.
With Emperor Time.
Yeah, they're both equally just insane. The one where he can't use it on anyone else isn't that insane.
What are you talking about, man? Change
Yeah,
it.
obviously, there's like situations where that would be really shitty. Like on the boat right now, where he has to fight a bunch of people he's not going after.
The Phantom Troop is on the Black Whale, though. Spoiler alert. You're able to sneak on in the search of Hisoka. So, spoilers.
But the second one, losing an hour or a day, or I forget what the amount was.
Oh yeah.
But losing that much of his life.
Yeah, a lot.
So for
that's the big one in my opinion.
For every second that he's in, he loses an hour. So if he does a minute, that is a total of a minute. An hour is 150 days of his time. So that's close to about 45% of a year. And then, like it says in the manga as well, 24 hours of Emperor Time is 10 years off his lifespan.
Yeah.
I mean, so in the Hunter x Hunter series, I've realized that humans usually live a bit longer than they do in our lives. Probably, especially, like, look at Old Man Netero. How old was he when he died against Mehun? Do you guys know?
I'll look up the wiki. But yeah, keep going.
But I mean, I would believe that humans in this series live a little bit longer than they do in real life, especially ones that practice Nen.
Yeah.
So
it just says over 110 years old.
okay, so that proves my point. The oldest human alive, I'm pretty sure, has lived to about 110, 120, I believe. If he's over
Dawn
wait.
Freaks.
Dawn
Yeah.
Freaks. I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
That's Jing's father.
It's not
I haven't
his-
heard that name in a while.
Actually, yeah, it's
We
not
don't know
his
if it's his father.
It based on speculation, it is his father. And based on pure
he is
theory.
like apparently 300 years old, so would seem
Yeah.
weird that it's his father. I mean, it's possible, but would seem weird.
How old is how old is Maha and Zig Zoldyck then? I actually don't know.
They're
haven't
probably
checked
super
that.
old as well.
99% sure.
Yeah, so that proves my point.
Wiki.
Humans live longer in the Hunter x Hunter series than they do in real
Well,
life. I'll
yeah,
just say
they
that.
could have used the nitro rice
On average.
also. So I mean, they do live like longer if they like put a lot of time and effort into like training their aura. Like, of course, yeah. And also, and I mean, also someone like Netero, who's like always meditating and like this. it makes sense that he is the type that would live also longer. But I guess it was said somewhere, I think, that if you're able to keep your aura like around you, you're also able to live longer because you're not like wasting your life energy.
Yeah. What was really interesting about watching Kurapika's restrictions in action is after he used Emperor Time for a long amount of time. This was also maybe foreshadowed in the York New City arc, but revisited in the Succession War arc. He uses it for a really, really long time, and when he shuts it off, he's like attacked by the consequence of the restriction, and it was like he lost those years, like in that moment.
He feels extreme fatigue.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I never thought about it like that.
So it's not like a mathematical negative after he deactivates the ability. It's like
he
physically affecting him in that moment.
That's why he gets so
it's
tired.
like he's getting like sicker and sicker.
That's why after the trade for Krollo's life and for Golden Kilo at the end of the York New, he slept for 2 days, I believe.
After that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, he was in Emperor Time for a while there, keeping Krollo hostage. And then when he got back at the beginning and at the start of the Great Island arc, Lario told him that he was asleep for 2 days.
Okay, I got a question for you guys. How many hours do you think Kurapika has used Emperor Time during
over the entire
series?
Okay, like how many hours?
Yeah, in total, or even days. Who knows?
Okay. I'm just gonna say hours because days goes into intervals of 24.
It's probably
so
not more than 1
hours.
day, or could be. I don't know, but
okay. Let me think. So let's see. Let's just go through this quickly. In Hunter Exam, he used it against that fake spider in Trick Tower. He didn't.
Wait. When his eyes turn red, does he activate Emperor Time, or are they independent of each other?
Good point.
Yeah, because before the end of Heaven's Arena, he didn't know Nen. So.
Yeah, he didn't have that restriction, so it doesn't really apply.
No, Emperor Time still affects him. That's not part of his condition. Emperor Time is a thing that all Kurta members have. So that those two do not act on each other. Yes. The Scarlet Eyes in Emperor Time, that is not actually from his condition or from his chains. He did not
think
forge.
It's that definitive.
Because
I think that's just a trait from having the Scarlet Eyes.
It might be. It could be different for other members, like other Kurta clansmen. Like they could just have like different types
that's
of boosts.
What I was thinking as well.
Yeah, but anyway, it's just speculation.
For sure.
From what I've read and looked and researched, I think that I don't know if the abilities of Emperor Time, so 100% efficiency in all areas of Nen applies to all Kurta, but I know that all Kurta have some form of Emperor Time. Like maybe the exact abilities aren't the same potentially, but I know that it all does affect him in some way. That's why when they were younger, they were not just for safety, but they were like try not to use your eyes too much because otherwise you'll shorten your life.
They're definitely getting some sort of boost because at least from what Uvogin was saying, like those guys, they were very strong. Like
I was gonna bring that up. Uvo mentions that. I can't remember like that ever being mentioned. Kurapika, like don't use your eyes because it's gonna shorten your life.
I thought I heard it somewhere.
From my understanding, it was just because they were discriminated against for their eyes, like people called them devils.
Right.
So,
or discriminating, or just for the value of the beautiful eyes, or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if people truly did discriminate against the Kurta, wouldn't they not condemn the Phantom Troop for massacring them?
So,
if they truly thought they were devils, All right, that's a side topic. Let's stay on topic with
Yeah.
Emperor Time.
I'm sure there'd be people that would be like, yeah, kill them. They're evil.
Yeah, quite possible.
Those types of people exist in real life. It absolutely
Could
happen.
make sense, yeah,
Yeah.
in the Hunter x Hunter world as well.
No, but I mean, like the general populace.
Probably not.
But,
There'd be a subsection of people for sure.
but
Anyway,
I think we can say that. So it was like a restriction he put on himself, at least for the Emperor time. So
Yeah.
it's like his
I would agree
ability.
with
So
that.
every time he activates it, it activates his ability, and he puts the limitation on basically every time he activates Scarlet Eyes. Yeah. So basically, it's only possible that he's expending his life starting from when he was training with Izunabi. So basically, after that time, we are looking when he uses Emperor Time or Scarlet Eyes.
Alright, let me think. Let me just use my mind real fast. So let's see, the first time that he used it in the York New arc was against Ubugin. So
Yeah, that was 10 minutes or something. But he was
I don't know how
driving as
long-
well. So it's more like 30 minutes?
I don't. Kurapika did say at the end of the fight, like when Ubugin died, that it took longer than it should have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know exactly how long the fight was because time in Hunter x Hunter can be a bit finicky. The Hunter
Yeah.
exam was over the progress of several weeks. Heaven's Arena was over like the progress of 6 months. Yorknu was over the past couple of days. Then Great Island went back. Great Island, then Chimera also was over the course of a few months. Then Election was over like a couple of days to a couple of weeks. And then Succession War, it's literally, even though there's so much content, it's literally been like 2 or 3 days since the freaking Black Whale set voyage. So time, you can't really accurately
No, not
depict
but
time.
just like
So
just as like really super
Without
rough
the-
estimation of like even during the York New arc, like I guess he must have used it at least for more than 1 hour.
No, he definitely did because remember, he used Emperor Time when he was in the car with Leorio, Melody, and Crollo. That's another time. He was there when Pakunoda met with Crollo and Kurapika in the plane, in the blimp, in the airship, I should say, actually, where they're discussing trade negotiations. He also used it during the trade. In Great Island, he didn't use it because we didn't see him. Chimera Ant arc, he wasn't there. In Election arc, he was present at the very, very end, but he didn't use it. And then the Succession War arc, he's used it for many, many hours. He used it even before he set foot on the Black Whale. He used it to figure out the liar between the Zodiacs and who's working with Beyond. So,
according to the wiki, this restriction, it starts ticking whenever his eyes turn red. He's tied his ability to his eyes turning red.
Yeah, that's what I figured as well.
If that's the case, he probably uses his abilities. He probably gets angry like a lot. So I feel like
every time
he's actually a lot closer to death's door than you would initially think. Especially since he's been using this since like early in the series. He's been using it to procure the eyes off screen.
Yeah. But we can't really
see him using it in many different scenarios, so you can assume that he would use it a lot off screen as well.
I would assume that as well, but the thing is that you can't actively make a solid kind of prediction.
No, it's impossible.
You don't.
It's just
over the time of Great Island and Chimera Ant, that is like about 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really say but
you can't really make any kind of accurate prediction.
So
there's no accurate prediction. The only, I guess it's more of like a general realization that oh god,
Yeah.
like he's probably like taken like a large chunk of his life
Already.
off already.
Yeah.
It's not something that we're recently being introduced to.
Yep. Yeah.
Just think, at the beginning of the series, he was 17, and now he is 19. So
Yep.
it has been 2 years since the first chapter in the story, of course. I mean, the first chapter was released in June 4th, 1998. Thanks, Jeopardy, for having me remember that question, because I had to have that set up. So thank you for that. But
That was before I was born. That's how long Hunters existed.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was like a small kid when it came out. It was like first time I like was actually reading the manga was in 2004 or something like that.
so after the 1999 adaptation.
Yeah, I never saw the anime, but during
Well,
that
you've never
time,
watched
like,
1999.
but I just read. I remember like I was reading on my grandpa's old laptop. I had access to the internet, and I was like, what manga should I read? Like something like these are cool, right? Mangas are
Wow,
cool.
just randomly.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
and I found Hunter x Hunter by like just like that, and I remember
Just chance.
you had the really shitty scans, and I think also even you had like the really badly drawn like chapters of York New, like like you know like Togashi
Yeah.
has drawn
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the really poorly drawn like chapters just to get it out, right? And like
Yeah, like a 1-2 combo of quality.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember during that time I read those chapters, and until like the end of the not the Chimera, but the Greed Island, where like Gon and where Genthru was like ripping Gon's throat or something like that. And I remember like as a kid, like I was like,
Oh.
whoa, holy shit, man! I'm like, like
Getting through the least intimidating antagonist of the entire series. Changed my mind.
huh?
I don't know about that. Tompa is an antagonist.
Oh,
And
Tompa. We're talking about Tompa.
he's
Wait,
not intimidating at all.
Do I really call Tompa an antagonist?
He's technically an antagonist, I think.
Fair, but I mean, no one really, except for the memes, no one gives a shit about Tompa. Like, come on. I mean, like, actual, like, series, like, arc defining antagonist. Like,
Okay,
Hunter
is
x Hunter
Tompa a
would be
good
so-
character or not?
Alright, fine. Tompa is not intimidating whatsoever. Although, I'm glad I did not drink his juice. I will just say that.
All right.
Do you guys think Tompa is a good character or not? We're going completely off topic.
Oh,
Just
boy.
real quick. Do you think he's a good character?
Tompa.
For the Hunter exam, he's annoying as shit, but you know what? He could be worse, to be honest. He's a
That's
good
exactly
he's
what
a
makes
good
him effective.
he's a good chaos factor in Trick Tower when it was the power
Yep.
of the majority. So I have to say, but you know what? He was also always the weasel out. Like when he was fighting, like you know that epic moment where he, like when I first watched it, I was like, oh my god, he's about to go full on. He's about to rip the shit out of this guy, and then he just, I give up.
Yep.
And then-
Perfect.
And then Kilo then points out, oh yeah, the mercenary would have just ripped out your throat so you couldn't give up, and then he would just wait up the 50 hours. So Tompa actually made the correct choice there, which is funny as shit.
Yeah, it turns out. Yeah, that's quite funny. But yeah, I do think, as much as I freaking hate Tompa, and I hate him mostly because of the Tompa memes at this point.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just so overdone. But
Yeah.
in terms of like a character as a tool, he's like a really, really great character. He functions really, really well within the story.
Yeah, he's a good chaos factor. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Mm,
All right, what more can we say about Kurapika at the moment? We've talked about how he began. He was a fun little kid who was excited about exploring the outside world. Now his
Yeah.
depression, revengo, edgelord.
He's not an edgelord. Get your ass out of here.
A little bit.
Alright,
You gotta admit, a little
if you
bit.
call him
Edgy as hell.
Coca, if you call him an edgelord again, I'm coming to your house. Alright, I will fly across the fucking world.
He's an edgelord without like the edgelord energy. He's like a low-key edgelord.
That doesn't. Oh my. Alright, I'm booking a plane ticket right now.
Will Will
What?
Woble be able to like save Kurapika from himself? So
Yeah,
will Kurapika? I feel like the direction that we're heading, Kurapika's gonna face like a junction where he either has the opportunity to go kill Phantom Troop members or he stays and protects Woble. And I think
Oh.
Yeah.
So,
what's that gonna play out like?
so wait, how do you pronounce the fourth prince's name again? I forget.
Serenich, I think. There's no like vocalized
No, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
version of his name. So
just for the jokes, I just call him Tea Sandwich.
Mhm.
Just for the
yeah,
jokes.
Terra Sandwich.
Yeah, okay, let's just call him Terra. Why not?
Yeah.
Alright, so, I mean, actually, if you think about it, the reason why he went onto the ship is because the fourth prince, Terra, has the final remaining Scarlet Eyes. So there's
Yeah.
3 different parties at play that Kurapika will have to choose from. He'll either choose to go after Terra, he'll go after the Phantom Troop, or he'll stay with Woble.
Yeah, he joined the.
So either what does he value more? Someone
he
who
did
he's
join the
connected
ship,
to.
but also he got like when he saw the kid, he got the kid in his hands. That did really like impact him. Like it made. I'm pretty sure like it made him reflect on like, okay, what is really important as well. Like
Yeah, there's a lot that you can read from that expression that
Yeah.
he makes. Is he like mourning like the choice he's going to make in the future? Like, man, I'm gonna leave this kid behind, aren't I? Or is he like, what do I choose?
Yeah.
Do I
I thought
focus
that,
on taking care of this kid? Because he knows the kid's gonna die if he doesn't take
Yeah.
care of him.
So I thought what it was going to be is that he was trying to actually get Woble off the ship. Like they were trying to get him to an
yeah,
escape boat. if I
they're
remember
planning on
correctly.
that a little bit now.
So they were just trying to stall out the succession war to try to prepare to have them escape. Just basically get to a lifeboat so then they're out of the succession war and safe.
Is that still their current plan? Because
Yes,
if they
I believe
know
so.
about
Kurapika
I
doesn't know
forget her
about the
name.
Phantom Troop, so he doesn't. He
No,
can't really plan
I'm-
for that.
I'm talking about the girl who already tried to escape
No,
and
he
then
doesn't
was
know.
killed. Yeah,
I don't think he. No, he doesn't know because that's
No.
that was one of the teleportation nun abilities. I forget what it was called. Was it called like no? It wasn't hide and seek. That's Nov.
The wormhole.
I forgot to-
Yeah, I
don't
can't remember it.
either.
It was some kind of wormhole ability.
Yeah, where it required the 2 girls to activate, one to open it and one to close it, because those were 2 were best friends. What, right?
Yeah.
Or am I mistaken?
Confused about that one.
Also, wait, what's the name of the bodyguard of the? I think it was the first prince that can make Predator.
I don't.
What's
Oh
his
yeah,
name
that one.
again?
The wall of text.
So
one.
yeah, I mean, what he said it himself.
The
I
other
mean,
name.
the guy who can make Predator, Kurapika won't be really be affected by that Nen ability because he would have to guess and or know all of Kurapika's abilities. Wait, does that include the ones that he steals with Steel Chain or no? Because if that's the case, then that means he would have to guess all like 6 or 7 of them plus the stolen ones, which just aren't possible. So Predator.
Not sure
won't-
if it includes the stolen ones. It would be like
even with
he
the
has to know how that ability works.
Yeah, I mean, even if he knows the stolen ones, it doesn't really matter because he still has to guess everything else.
Here's an interesting thought. Kurapika could steal Predator and then use that on other Prince's beasts to eliminate the threats.
Correct, but I don't. Does he know of the does he know of Predator? I don't think so.
No, he doesn't. No, like
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure nobody knows about Predator at the moment.
Yeah.
Except for like the First Prince bodyguards. I believe
Yeah,
so.
yeah, just like their faction.
Yeah, so
Yeah, what do you think the end game for Kurapika is?
Oh,
There's,
good one.
I feel like there's he either kills himself using his ability,
yeah.
or he dies in the Succession War. If he gets out of this unscathed, and he completes his goals, I'm pretty sure we kind of covered this already.
yeah, we covered it.
But I was just thinking, like, would he want to explore the Dark Continent? Because that's the direction he's heading. And that's kind of what... I feel like that's kind of the direction he was going as a kid. Like, he was really excited about exploring the outside world. You know,
Yeah.
the book that Sheila gives him.
Alright.
I feel like that's kind of who he is under all of this. I wonder if that's
yeah.
going to, like...
So
That's a very good
if I were
point,
to
I
guess if I were to guess end game material, I think it's that for the Succession War for Kurapika, I don't think the end game battle is actually the Phantom Troop. I think it's going to be this. I think he's going to be fighting Tezera. Personally, I think it's either Tezera, or I think it's definitely going to be Tezera, because Tezera is definitely the biggest threat on the ship. Because for Kurapika personally, because remember, even with Chrollo and his insane bandit secret, Sun and Moon and Bookmark, he still can just use chain jail on him if he can get it off, right? He can just use Ian to hide it.
And there's
and then
Hisoka
he can,
going after the Phantom Troop as well.
that's another thing as well.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for Hisoka to reveal himself.
Hisoka might try to form like a pact with Kurapika like they did in York New, like they'll exchange
Very
information and decide
possible.
not to
Very
kill each other for
possible.
now.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'll be like a straight up alliance. That's not
But
Hisoka's
imagine
style.
like Kurapika, he has to like go all the way down deck. Like it would
To
be
deck
so
5 or
risky,
something like
like to leave the queen, you know, and
Yeah.
like wobble.
I don't think he has to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Phantom Troop are going to be making their way
Right.
up to where the
Yeah.
treasure
Yeah, they're
is.
moving
I'm pretty
up.
sure
They're-
the treasure's
Yeah,
with
you're
them.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
because they're just trying to find Hisoka. They don't even know that the damn chain bastards on the same place as them. Like, what are the chances if Hisoka was not involved and if Hisoka did not know that Kurapika would be on board the ship, what are the chances that they would all be together?
Yeah.
Somewhere
pretty
like
lucky.
beyond astronomically possible, I would guess. Because that would involve every 13 Phantom Troop members, Hisoka and Kurapika, all to be on the same ship at the same time, all headed for the Dark Continent.
Isn't there something like Nen attracts other Nen users? Oh wait, isn't that from JoJo? Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
we're kind of getting some JoJo-esque-ness in
Well,
Hunter.
definitely, yeah.
All these beasts.
Definitely.
I've never watched JoJo, so I can't really make that connection.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, but there is definitely many have compared it like to the stands, like, and I can definitely see the connection there. But
Yeah, Serenich's ability is just King Crimson.
yeah, basically,
Not even his, yeah. Yeah, I think we've wrung this conversation dry for the most part. What do you guys think?
yeah, I think at least the
I
end
understand.
game for Kurapika. I still didn't give my version of it, but
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go for it, man.
So, yeah, I think it's either gonna be like, yeah, he either ends up dead or he like has to use like Emperor time, like to his limits, you know, and he's gonna get a good chunk out of his life, like cut off. Like I don't like look at like T sandwich, like Serjetnik, like how are you going to how is he going to like fight him? Like, because we know that's the, oh, at least we think that's going to happen. Like they're gonna fight. So at least I think they're gonna fight.
Togashi, maybe not.
It's possible, yeah, it's possible. I think they're gonna fight, but you never know with Togashi, that's for sure. But yeah, I think I don't think he's gonna like get out of it unscathed. Like,
Do you guys want to make a bet?
sure, we can.
It'd be really cool to have like a record of like what we think is going to
Sure, we
happen
can do that.
to look back
Huh?
on.
All right.
I think it's most.
I
Yeah,
think
go first. Then.
you go first.
So I think he's not gonna come unscathed. He's gonna live, but he's gonna like similar to Gon or something, or like maybe not as bad, but yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page. I think there's gonna be some kind of sacrifice that he has to
Yeah.
make, like either to his body or like to a character or something like that. Something's gonna happen. He's not gonna come out unscathed, but I think he's gonna live, and I think we're gonna get like a series finale where I'm not sure if Gon gets his Nen back, but I have a feeling that Gon's going to end up in the Dark Continent. I just have like a feeling that's going to be how the story ends. And I feel like Kurapika might end up there with him. Just because that was kind of hinted at, that was what he was like as a kid. That's my like, what would you call it? The optimistic outlook on his situation. That's my optimistic bet.
Okay.
All right. So my guess is this: Kurapika is gonna fight Tezera on the Black Whale. When, I do not know. I do not believe that he would come unscathed. I think there, as you guys have said, some kind of sacrifice, whether it be body, character, or soul, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I think that Hisoka will reveal himself somewhat during or after the fight, and if Kurapika lives, they will form like some kind of agreement like they did in York New. By that time, they would have gotten the Blackwell would have gotten to the island right before the Dark Continent begins. They dropped off the passengers. The Phantom Ship is still looking for Hisoka. They get to the Dark Continent, and then they actually finally meet. I don't know about Gon in the Dark Continent. I can definitely see it happening, but especially with him not knowing Nen, I think that would be a very, very bad idea. I think that could be a very good way to get himself killed. I personally believe that the final battle, the end of that story will be the Phantom Troop, Kurapika, and Hisoka all fighting on the Dark Continent. And then
On the Dark Continent, interesting.
correct.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I would, yeah, that sounds like a really sound prediction, honestly. For the most part, I do agree with it. I would say, I feel like most of the fighting is going to be on the Black Whale, though. If I had to, like,
Yeah.
True, but
look at that prediction and think, okay, most of those things sound like, yeah, I could totally imagine them happening, but I feel like most of the fighting is going to happen on the boat. And then the arc is going to kind of end with everything resolving on the boat and them arriving on the Dark Continent or something like that.
I'll just say this. You guys remember the fight between Hisoka and Chrollo in Heaven's Arena, correct? How basically all
Yeah,
the
of course.
all like the watchers, like everyone who was watching the fight in person, died essentially because of
A lot of them
Yeah.
did, yeah.
yeah, Chrollo and Hisoka's death match was so brutal. If they were to break out, I would assume that 90%, if not all, the civilians on board will die.
Honestly,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
So-
I just hope that
Especially
whatever-
with all 13 troop members, including Illume now, that's going to get bloody real
I
fast.
honestly just hope that Togashi is going to like play with our expectations again, like he did with
Oh, yeah.
with the Hisoka Chrollo fight. Like we were expecting one of them wins, but we weren't expecting that. Okay, that Hisoka is gonna revive and kill 2 Phantom Troop members. Like
Yeah.
that came
At least
out
he
of
killed.
nowhere.
Yeah.
At least he killed Shalnark and Kortopi, because Kortopi, he didn't really provide too much to the story. Shalnark, I just found to be usually an annoying little shit. To be honest.
I liked Shalnark. Hey.
All right, he had to go full on Super Saiyan on that weak ass Chimera Ant officer.
That was sick. I love that scene. The animation.
He's
in that scene
weak.
is so great.
Well,
I will agree. The
I
animation
guess
was
my
very
point.
good.
I guess my point was that like we're kind of expected, like Togashi's building up like us to expect that there's going to be a huge massacre, but seeing how he's played with our expectations before, I kind of want him to, well, we'll probably get some sort of massacre, but I also want to see some kind of like unexpected thing, like, and I think he's gonna deliver on that because that's Togashi for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think exactly the same. Well, my desire is exactly
Yeah.
the same. I do want him to like really push our expectations and like do something unique.
For sure.
Yeah, I do think it's very realistic that most of the civilians die though,
I think so too. Yeah.
or at least the chaos with all the civilians there.
Oh.
Because I feel like Togashi is also pretty realistic with that
He
kind
is.
of thing. Like,
Yeah.
He likes to think about what would happen, like societally, the implications of the environments that the characters are in.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's so detailed. Like, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. We got almost 1 hour.
Yeah. I think honestly, that's a pretty good spot to end.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least for our first conversation, we had like plans to do like little segments with like fan art shout outs. Maybe that's something we can work on integrating in the future, but I feel like this was a pretty good discussion and it can just like we can leave it
Absolutely.
here.
Well, it's also a thing where the first thing that we decided to do was such an in-depth character and just story that it's not like a short, brief little topic or theory. It's literally going over an entire character, making predictions of their future.
Yeah,
we
we took on like the subject super broadly. Like we didn't have a.
We didn't go extremely in depth, but we gave a lot of good details. I would assume.
Yeah, even after an hour, I only feel like we're just kind of scratching the surface. Like I feel like maybe if we got more detailed, we might be able to like make better predictions, or who knows.
Yeah, if we
but
really
on
did.
that note, if any of the watchers have predictions, if you're watching on YouTube, write in the comments. Let us know what you think is going to happen to Kurapika. It would be awesome to hear like different perspectives.
Yeah, or like on the Reddit or something. You can just or Discord.
That's just the beauty of having. That's just the beauty of having a growing community. There's just more ideas and more perspectives. It's interesting to actually see different perspectives and not just see everyone agree. This is going. Like everyone is just says, this is going to happen. It's interesting seeing different ideas float around. I enjoy reading them.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like we could get way deeper, and if any of the viewers have like want to use our conversation as a springboard to like jump into like any deeper analysis or deeper theories, write in the comments. We all want to read it. We're all super interested and hyped about this kind of stuff. So, yeah.
All right.
If we weren't hyped about Hunter x Hunter, we wouldn't be making this podcast. Let's just say that.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I think we're just about to hit an hour of record time, so I think this is a great spot to wrap up.
I agree.
All right. Until next time, I guess.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking with you guys. I had a lot of fun.
Let's do it again.